Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is the 12th of January already. Can you believe we're almost halfway through this month? Crazy. But we are. It is also 1-2 day, so we'll talk about that a little more. First, I want to let you know that you can find me over in the 1-2 radio chat room by heading over to number2radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. And Scott is standing by and he will gladly let you into that room. I also want you to know that I am live streaming this event from my fan page and from my YouTube. So either way is Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, if you'd like to watch that way. And I did share that into the chat room as well. So you can watch rather than listen if you choose to. I'm going to jump in the chat room, but I want you to know that I am keeping an eye on the comments from all three places. So wherever you're commenting, I should see it. I'm a good multitasker like that. So that's where we are at. And I'm glad to be here. We're going to do some ritual and ceremony today because we need it. And a lot of you guys have reached out to me and asked for it. So we are going to be doing some candle magic and healing circle and some vibrational healing today. So stand by for that for sure. But I think we'll go ahead and do some of our regular stuff first, and then we'll get into all of that. So a couple of things. I want to pull your attention to YouTube for just a minute. As you know, I have a true crime podcast with my sister, Christy. Most of you guys know Christy. And our two new cases this week, we covered the world's most prolific female serial killer. Yeah. Lady named Elizabeth Bathory. She lived in the 1500s and she killed at least 600 people, though the count is pretty mostly unknown, but that was the recollection of her staff at any rate. So anyway, you can learn more about Elizabeth and what drove her insanity. We also covered a really important case about Alyssa Macklemore. We have made it our goal this year to much more frequently focus on missing and murdered Indigenous women. You may know that here in the United States and across the globe, there is a huge problem with this happening. Indigenous women being the victims of violence at a much higher rate than other women. And this is something that needs to have a huge signal boost. We need to continue to talk about it. We need to continue to push for more legislation, more cooperation. It's a huge deal. And so part of our season 2 goal is to put a much brighter light on these cases and pull a lot more of them to the surface. So the Alyssa Macklemore case was the first case that we chose for season 2 in touching on this subject. And in the beginning of that episode, we talk a little bit more about why this is happening and some ideas about things you can do to raise your awareness and, and be aware in your community as well. So those are both over on our YouTube channel, which is True Crime Paranormal. You can also find them on our just about every podcast hoster you can find. We are there. So easy to find us. And then, of course, if you have been wanting to take any courses from the Psychic Sisters, if you go to our channel, right there on the home page, there is a spot that says membership right at the top. If you click on that, you can join our membership program. It is Spirit School with the Psychic Sisters. And if you subscribe, then you are allowed to attend two classes and one guided imagery meditation every single month. So lots of fun stuff there, and we would love to have you join us. So that's all of that. I always want to make sure you guys are in the know, since that's a big deal these days for me. But of course, I want to tell you about 1-2 Day. So you guys mostly know probably that I'm a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. That's number one. Number two, listen.com. And over at One Two Listen, we have our big celebration today. So the first or on the 12th of every month, we celebrate all things One Two, and we have a huge sale. So we have randomized pricing going on for the whole day. And then I have my 20-minute time based session on sale as well, which is greatly reduced. So the thing is with time based sessions, you can buy them now. And then the next time you call me through that system, it will process. And so that's the way to use those minutes whenever you're ready to. The computer will initiate them at that time, and then we can have a good conversation. Yikes. I just realized I'm still signed in over there. I better I better sign out. I can't really be in both places at the same time. I haven't quite mastered that magic yet. Okay, there we go. So, if you want to find that time-based session that's on sale and it's deeply reduced just for today, it's my 20-minute. All you have to do is go over to one2listen.com and look for me, Katie Weaver, and go into my time-based sessions in my profile and you'll find it there. But I'm going to put it here in the chat room for you guys as well so that you have it in case you would like to invest in it now. I am also still offering my 12-month reading for 2 more weeks, and then it will come off the market for the year. So if you're interested in getting a 12-month reading, you'll need to be picking it up here shortly, or you might run out of time. And I have mostly caught up. So if you have been waiting for your 12-month reading, most of you have received yours. I still have 2 that probably won't get done until tomorrow since today is 1-2 day. But it's been a bit of a marathon, but I've learned a lot about this year. It's going to be an interesting year. I'm sure we all know that already, but I'm very glad to have that available to you guys. So if you want to buy a 12-month reading, again, go over to one2listen.com, find me, Katie Weaver, and then go to my email services in my profile, and you'll find it there. The way that works is you just purchase it, and it gives you a spot to send me a note. And then I will do the reading as a video, and I will send you a private YouTube link, and you can use it whenever you want to. Or you can watch it whenever you want to. Sorry. You can then watch it whenever you want to and watch it as many times as you want to. It's the link that's yours to keep. That's your reading. You can have it forever. So that's how it works if you decide you want one. Or if you have any questions, just let me know. But that's what's going on. Okay. All righty. Well, let's take a look at Luminous Magazine. And hello to everybody in the chat. I do see you all showing up. I'm happy to see you guys today. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's been a lot of stuff, hasn't it? We're going to talk about it. But let's talk about Luminous first. So you guys know that I publish a weekly magazine that comes out on Tuesdays with the help of my colleagues at One Two Listen and some of my friends. And if you're not in the chat room, you can find that by heading over to katie-weaver.com and clicking on the Luminous Magazine button. Easy enough to find. So we're going to look at a couple of things. I like that frosty cover. It's January. That's what it should look like around here. However, we've been unseasonably warm, so it's okay. I'm actually really not complaining. All right. I called this magazine the Just Breathe edition because, to be honest, I feel like I've been holding my breath for days. And I know a lot of you guys have too. We're going to talk about it. My musings this week was a few thoughts about things you can do to nurture yourself during times of trauma. The attack on the Capitol here in the US last week brought about a lot of feelings of trauma, PTSD in some clients, and a lot of people said it was reminiscent for them of what they felt like after 9/11. The collective energy is intense, to say the very least. And then add to it that there is still a very split America here with very different feelings about it, is just adding to the intensity of that energy. So we're going to work on that together today. But some suggestions that I had for just taking good care of yourself in times of trauma, because that's what I'm hearing from you guys. Feeling emotions that range from grief, rage, fear, exhaustion, trauma, PTSD, and also just feeling very deflated. So, first of all, take good care of your root chakra, and we're going to do some root work today. But if you're feeling scattered, like you can't focus, like you can't get anything done, it's likely that you have had a root shakeup, and taking good care of your root makes a big difference. Some daily time outside is imperative. Again, I'm going to use the singing bowl and we'll do some root work today, but there is a lot of good benefits to be had in getting outside right now, spending time around trees, as well as a sea salt bath, diffusing frankincense oil, carrying a dark stone, lots of ways to take care of your root. Sleep. Take whatever steps necessary to get decent sleep right now. If you're not sleeping, or you're having bad dreams, or you're having a really hard time getting to sleep, talk to your doctor, get some help, try melatonin, do what you need to do for your body. You know what that is, but help yourself get some sleep. A lack of sleep is a huge issue in dealing through all of these kinds of trauma and grief energies. When you're not getting sleep, it makes it all so much harder and so much worse. Service. Nothing shifts a low vibe faster than doing something good for somebody else. This is a good time to find a little service. It will help you feel better and it will help you to reconnect to the good parts of our world. That's important. Talk about it. This is not a time to bury your feelings or to try to ignore them away. You need to talk about what you're feeling with a safe person. Don't talk about them with somebody that can't hear you, regardless of where you stand on this. Don't talk to somebody that can't hear you. Talk to a safe person that can show you some empathy and some compassion. Burying this is not going to be helpful right now or long term. So talk about it. This is not a time to tell people that they're not allowed to feel what they are feeling. It isn't. In fact, that is a huge insult to people that are feeling this all very deeply. So we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be real about how we feel. We're going to allow ourselves these feelings so that we can work through them. That's one of the most important things you can do for yourself. I know that all of this has triggered energy for a lot of you guys that you're very uncomfortable with. You don't like anger. You don't like division. You don't like clashes. You don't like violence. I get it. I absolutely get it. But you still have to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and move through it. It doesn't do you any good to just try and love and light this away and not give yourself the opportunity to feel what your heart is really experiencing. So let's be really careful about that. Let's not shame other people for what they're feeling. Let's not start demanding unity in a broken world. We'll get there. We're going to work towards unity. But right now, we have a lot of fear. We have a lot of hurt people. We have a lot of wild stuff happening here. And it's probably, we're not ready. We're just not ready. Right now, we still need to go through what we're going through. Take breaks. Use happy distractions like games, movies, books, exercise, and music to take healthy breaks from the news and from social media. That I think is really, really important at this point. Take breaks. Don't just do nothing but watch the news or stare at your phone. That in itself will probably depress you more than anything else. I am certainly not saying that you shouldn't stay as informed as you would like to be. Everybody has their own limit there, right? And some of you don't want to be informed at all, and that's okay too. But I'm not going to tell you to just walk away from the news. I don't think you can. And frankly, I don't know that you should. We have to be aware of what's happening. We have to know. But at the end of the day, taking a step back from things that are bringing a lot of stress and a lot of grief to you, it's important to give yourself those breaks as well. So let's try to do both and find balance. Okay, moving on. Uh, Bitch Scopes this week, if you have not seen them, Kelly was my guest yesterday on 1 2 News, Kelly McLean. The title of her article this week is Uranus is Chafed. You'll have to come and read her article to find out why, but at any rate, awesome. So funny. And her scopes are always so good, so accurate. I love her rundown of all of the planetary stuff happening. I so often during the week I'll come back to her scopes to take a look at why does the 12th feel like this? It's also a new moon today, by the way. So those of you that have a weird reaction or just a reaction in general to the new moon, you may also be feeling some of that. My dogs were so unsettled last night. My little chihuahuas, they had a terrible time getting comfortable and going to sleep. They drove me crazy. So, that might be a little bit of what's going on with you as well. Okay. So let's share Libra. This is Libra's bitch scope. You detest all of the fighting and hate and unrest that is happening right now. And while you feel powerless to bring things into balance, you sow love. It isn't all on your shoulders. As a true optimist, you are able to see the possibilities for growth and beauty in the chaos and the breakdown. Michael is at your side not only to protect your sensitive heart, but to influence any situation you may find yourself in where you feel like the mediator. That's awesome. So be sure that you do check out your bitch scopes for the week. They're always awesome. And thank you, Kelly, for that. All right. My tip this week was 5 ways to improve your day now. Sometimes you just need a shift, right? All right. Have you ever just started out your morning in a way that you know, maybe some bullshit's going down, like the day just doesn't start out well. Recently, I got up late, which is really weird for me, honestly, but somehow I managed to sleep a little late. Got up in a bit of a rush and was feeding the pigs. And Fiona, our little female, our sow, our pigs are very clear. They know what the routine is. I feed Zig first. He eats in the bathroom. And then Fiona comes into the kitchen and she eats. And when I fed Zig, she ran in there and started eating his food, which she never does that. But she did. And they fought and food went everywhere. And I was so annoyed with her. Brought her in the kitchen to feed her. And she immediately stepped on my toe. And if you've ever been stepped on by a pig hoof, I will tell you, it takes you from 0 to 60 in a flash, man. It hurts so bad. So that happened. So I had spilled food everywhere. I had to go in and give Zig more food because she ate his. I had to get her fed. My toe is absolutely throbbing. Like, I had all those things building up and had that instant, that flash of wanting to say, wow, today's effed, screw it. It's over. I'm done. And I went, man, isn't it tempting to set yourself up that way, right? Today's going to suck. And I went, I don't have time for today to suck. I have a lot to do. I need this day to improve. So I stopped. I took a few deep breaths. I willed myself to just release all of that BS, so that I could move forward and, not carry all of this crap with me for the rest of the day. And I did. But I did not. I mean, I did release it, but I feel like sometimes we need a recharge or a reset. So here's some ideas to improve your day or reset it. Service, we just talked about that. Service releases happy hormones in your brain. You might consider buying a stranger coffee or baking cookies for a neighbor, walking shelter dogs if that's allowed in your town, cleaning up trash, just watching for the old lady in the parking lot that needs some help with her groceries, whatever. There's opportunities for service are all around us all the time, right? You'll find something, but think service minded. It really does help shift your energy and your mood. Move yourself. Physical movement makes a big shift and it can do it quickly. So walk around the block, throw a dance party in the living room, stretch, do a little yoga, whatever calls to you. But movement really helps to shift you quickly. Turn the radio up. We know this about music. Music has all the power, right? To help you feel better or feel different. right? I mean, some music doesn't maybe necessarily make you feel better, and it's totally on you because some people, they get amped up and cleared out and feel amazing listening to like hard rock or metal. Other people listen to that kind of music and it drags them down. And not just metal, it's not metal's fault, but it the choice of music and how it responds to your spirit is very individual. So know you and maybe make a playlist beforehand so that when you need a feel good playlist, you've got one at your fingertips. Take a coffee break. Drinking something warm has been proven to be comforting, to shift your frequency, to help you to feel better, and to lower your stress. So, coffee, hot chocolate, tea, warm milk, if that's your jam, right? Something warm to nurture you and help you to just come back into that heart space. Read an uplifting article. There is more good in the world than bad. Head over to the Good News Network and find some good stuff happening in the world and immerse yourself in that for a while. Those are 5 ways to improve your day. Okay. Caroline's article this week. Do being of service and abundance conflict? It's an interesting conversation, a thought provoking one. Alrighty. So there's so much more in Luminous. I'm not going to go through all of it. I'll let you guys do that. But those were the things that I wanted to call your attention to. So you can take a look at the rest of it on your own. But those are some of the things that are in my heart. I'm going to take a quick look. Let's see. Jamie, first time here. I was hoping to get a reading on my love life. I would be happy to do that. We'll do readings towards the end of the show, though. So I'll hang on to that one for sure. And welcome. Okay. And we should have some time for some readings, but we are going to do some ritual today to help the world and to help ourselves as well. So let me finish peeking the chat here. I have 2 chats running, so it takes me a minute to make sure that I've seen everything I needed to see. Oh, Pamela, I'm so happy you loved your 12-month reading. I honestly really loved doing it. Oh my goodness, Sid, you adopted a dog. She adopted a deaf senior Chihuahua girl. How fun. I think you know that I have a deaf blind senior Chihuahua boy, so we can definitely commiserate. I'm so happy, Sid. You are a nurturer at heart. Yeah, I knew when you lost Elliot, you'd have to bring someone in that needed your care at some point, and I'm glad that you did. She's going to help heal your heart. So wonderful. Carol is also reporting that her husband's neck surgery went well. We've been sending energy and working on this with Carol for a while. She said, we knew it wasn't going to fix everything, but he is doing well. Time will tell if there's more improvement. Oh, Carol, I'm glad. And I'm going to hold space that there is more improvement, that this is not just a success, but a resounding success for him and for you, because I know it really sucks when your spouse is going through that kind of stuff. It's not fun for anybody. So that's good to know. Okay, so we're going to do a little ritual work. We're going to do some singing bowl work to get grounded and centered. We are going to do some smudging. We're going to do some candle magic, and we are going to do a healing circle. So I brought all my tools. This is what I want to say before I get started. If you are offended by this conversation, I can't help you. I'm not here to get crazy political. I'm not here to start a fight, and I'm absolutely not here to argue with anybody. I am here to help and heal. There's a lot of anger everywhere. I have my own opinions, I have my own feelings, and I have felt very traumatized by this whole situation. I feel like the attack on our capital is a huge blight and a huge affront, and I'm very bothered by it. I'm also very concerned, to be honest, about more violence to come, not just at the Capitol, but throughout the country here in the next 10 days or so. I'm asking you all to be really diligent about your own safety. I'm asking you all to avoid any areas where there's violence or where there's even protesting. Just don't. Stay home, stay safe. Do not be a part of this in any way. Take care of yourselves and your families. And let our system process through this. Uh, that's what I want to say about it. What I would like to do is do some healing and some clearing now for the world. As you all know, we need it. I know you guys need it. So we're going to smudge first so that we can smudge our tools. I know I wish I could just, smudge you all. I can't, but I wish I could. But we're going to do that ethereally anyway. So I've done this before, and some of you guys have reported that you feel like you can smell the sage. So our ethereal efforts are paying off. So I have an abalone shell. I have a stick of sage. This is the sage that I harvest and wrap. So it's desert sage. It's not white sage, it's desert sage. And incidentally, if you're interested in sage, if you need some, you can get it in my Etsy store if you want mine. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to start coughing before the sage. That's not a good sign. All right, we're going to go ahead and light up our sage here. Great. All right. So I'm going to use this to smudge my tools first and foremost. So I'm going to use it to clear the candle that I brought. So we're going to go let that move through the sage smoke. Sage is a very sacred, purifying herb, as are others. And so if you're interested, or hey, Cutis, I'm not sure who you are. I'm going to ask you to not offer readings in my chat room. If you'd like to do that in your own chat room when you have a show, you're more than welcome to. But I got to tell you, I feel like that's really offensive. So I'm going to ask you to leave my page and not be doing that. And anyone that's in my chats, please understand, I don't know who this person is, and I certainly don't endorse their readings. They're offering spells, and I'm going to tell you, that's a lot of times a big scam. Very offended by that. So please get out of my chat room right away. Okay. And if not, after the show, I will delete all of those and ban you. Unfortunately, I can't always control that. Social media. See, that distracted me to the point I let my sage out. I'm going to quit looking at that spam and get back to the show. Sorry, you guys. That grabbed me just a little bit. All right. So I smudged my candle. I'm going to just blow some smoke for all of you guys. So take it in. Allow that ethereal energy at least to wash over you. Wash it over the tops of your heads, down your sides. Lift up your feet and let it clear the bottoms of your feet. Good. Very good. Okay, love it. All righty, so then I'm going to go ahead and make a mess. And oh my God, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and let that smoke over my candlestick holder and over my bowl. All right. Okay, so I'll set the smudge aside. We're going to keep moving with our ritual here. Okay, let's go ahead and do our candle magic so that can do its work as we go. So here is our candle. So we've already cleared it with the smudge. Now we have to bless it. So I'm going to hold it in my heart. I'm going to bless this candle, asking it to illuminate peace, healing, compassion, and empathy to all who are hurting, grieving, in a place of fear, in a place of anger, or any other uncomfortable emotion at this time. Okay, the candle is blessed. We'll go ahead and anoint it. So I'm going to use lavender oil because Lavender is an oil that emotes peace, and that's part of what we are working on right now. Though I want to tell you, asking for peace, I hope that you understand, is not the same as asking for forgiveness or forgetfulness. Asking for peace is asking for things to settle down right now. That doesn't mean that we don't hold those responsible for what has happened. That doesn't mean that we say, for that we forgive you and allow whatever to happen. That doesn't have to be the case. What we're saying is we want peace moving forward. We want to feel peace in our hearts at this point. We want this energy to settle down. All right. So, candle anointed. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in my candle holder here. All right. And we'll light our candle. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and just let her keep burning throughout the show. So you won't be able to see her, but please know she's going to be continuing to burn down and do her work. All right. So with that piece being done, I want to move on over to some singing bowl work, some grounding work. Yep. So I did bring my root chakra bowl. So I'm going to play the bowl twice. The first time I'm playing it is to help you to allow the frequency of the singing bowl to clear anything in your root chakra that no longer serves you. So anything that you're carrying that doesn't feel good anymore, that you don't want, we're going to let the singing bowl clear that out first. Good. Okay. All right. So changing gears. Hey, Tracy. Changing gears now. Going to ask you to take a deep breath here with me. I'm going to play the bowl. I'm going to ask you to send red tree roots from your feet deep, deep, deep into the earth, connecting your root deeply into the energy of Mother Earth. And then I'd like you to just sit with that energy and allow it to move from the earth all the way through your roots and up all the way through you. Easy enough. So sending those roots down now. And allowing the frequency of the earth to start moving up through you. Helping you feel calmer and more at peace. Okay, very good. Okay, good work. All right, so that's a great start. That felt good to me. Honestly, part of my challenge throughout this process this last week has been wasting time, not using my time wisely, feeling really scattered and out of sorts, and wasting a lot of time, and then realizing how much time I've lost, and then not feeling good about that. And that is a root chakra issue. It means your root's out of whack, and that put your crown out of whack, and it has to be addressed. So that's one of the things that for me personally, I've been working on quite a lot. Okay, so now it is time to move into our healing circle space. If you've done a healing circle with me before, this will be very familiar. If you haven't, this is an opportunity for us to come together in an energetic place, in a spirit place, to do some work together. This is an important place for us to join as people who, want to walk in a place of light and in a place of peace, that we work together to help make the world a brighter and happier and more verdant place. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to just ask you guys to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths here with me. Good. Okay. Now I would like you to picture yourself walking along a path. This is a forest. You're walking along the forest path under a canopy of trees. In just a moment, I'm going to be counting backwards from 10 to 1. As I do so, you'll be walking along this path, getting deeper and deeper into your spirit and closer to the clearing in the trees. When you get to the clearing, you'll see a meadow where other people are gathering, like minded souls coming together for some healing work. This is a place where you will be able to experience others, where you'll be able to take part in that work. And you'll remember how to get back to this place anytime you choose to come, to do work, to ask for help. So, starting now with 10, walking down the path, 9, 8, getting deeper and deeper into your spirit with every step you take, 7, 6, halfway there now, feeling comfortable and confident about your ability to enter this place. It's warm but not hot. The sun is shining. 5, 4, getting much closer now. You can see the opening in the trees ahead. 3, 2, almost there, and 1. Step off of the path now and into the meadow in the clearing. You can see others in the center of this space gathering, coming out from other paths in the trees. Walk to the center now. You'll find me and many others, some that you may know and many that you don't. But the energy here is peaceful, it's safe, it feels like unconditional love and peace. Now, take a moment here to gather. Taking hands, gathering in a circle. This is a powerful group of healers. We are coming together today to create an energy of peace. I'm asking you now to use whatever modality feels right for you. You might pray, you might send love from your heart, you may send intentions, you might do Reiki or another kind of energy work, you may chant, maybe you'll do something different altogether. There's no wrong answer. I would like you to focus on whatever aspect of our planet that you choose to. Perhaps you are feeling drawn to work on behalf of all of those that are still suffering because of the coronavirus. Perhaps you are feeling compelled to work on behalf of all of those who've been touched by violence. Perhaps you are feeling compelled to bring a safety net over anyone who could be under the threat of violence in the days and weeks to come. Or maybe it's something completely different. Only you can really know. But what we do know is that when we come together like this to work collectively on behalf of others, miracles happen. So at this time, I'm going to get out of your way and allow you to do your work, combining with everyone else's forces to create the change that we'd like to see. The intentions we're setting, the energy we're creating is getting bigger and brighter and more expansive now. Continuing to send our very best, being a part of the solution. Good. Okay. Almost done. Go ahead and wrap it up now. And as you finish, you can release the circle and take just a moment now to say goodbye to those that you've been sharing this space with, knowing that you can come back here anytime that you choose. In just a moment, I'm going to be counting forward from 1 to 5. As I do so, you'll be walking back into the forest, back up the path from whence you came. Starting with 1, you'll still be very deep in your consciousness here with your friends. With every step you take, you'll get lighter and lighter. When I reach 5, you'll be wide awake and refreshed, but very aware of the events that have taken place here today. Go ahead now and walk back to your opening in the forest. Starting with 1, stepping back onto the path, very, very deep in your consciousness. 2, getting lighter with every step you take. 3, much, much lighter now. 4, almost there. And 5, wide awake, refreshed, and ready to carry out the day. Okay, lots of big stretching here. Help you ground back into your body. Yeah, that's big work. Okay, thank you all so much for being with me on that journey and for coming with me. Most helpless, there are things we can do to help. So I'm keeping an eye on the chat, and I would love to know your thoughts or how you did with that exercise, or if you saw anything that you would like to share. Okay, taking a quick look at the chat room here. Let's see. All right, I did promise. Let's see if I can get back to it here. Yeah, Jimmy. Jimmy, or is it just Jamie? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. She said it's her first time here, was hoping to get a reading on love life. Let's take a look at that. Oh, I feel like you have been on quite the roller coaster the last while. You know, you're an empath, and one of your gifts is that you see the best in people. And I feel like more than once you've been burned here in the last while because you have allowed yourself to see the better in someone, better than what they're actually playing out right now. And you've let some things go on quite a lot longer than you should have, simply because you were hoping that person could change. You could see their possibilities, and yet then you ended up getting beat up on. So I'm sorry for that. I really am. Uh, I actually feel like love life, you need a shelter from the storm. That's the thing that really comes up for me. And I don't feel like you're going to have that really come in. I do feel like some old things that have kind of bounced around are going to continue to bounce around for as long as you choose to let them. I feel like at some point this year, you are going to completely cut off anybody who has wasted your time, who's used you, who has taken advantage of your kindness. I feel like that's probably not going to be until somewhere around Marchish when you have truly just had absolutely enough. And then I feel like you are going to attract a person in that isn't like that. That I feel like will happen for 2 or 3 months after you cut off this other stuff. So there's going to be some downtime, some healing time there. So I am sorry. It just feels like you've really been through it, and for that I'm sorry to see. I feel like you have an absolute heart of gold and have an awful lot to offer somebody who actually deserves it. So keep to the faith and take good care of yourself in the meantime. You sure do deserve that. Okay, I wanted to grab Arlene said, if you have time, I would love a reading about my health. Let's feel into it, Arlene. Okay, a couple of things come up for me. I am suspicious about your liver and your gallbladder, and I would ask your liver and gallbladder area. I should say that's where my energy is really drawn to in you. I would like to offer you a little bit of energy work right there, because what I see in that solar plexus band is a lot of that thick, sticky black stuff that builds up. It builds up over time. It's resentment, it's anger that had nowhere to go. I feel like this is an area that you stuff. So I would like to do some clearing work there for you. So I'll go ahead and do that. But if I were you and this was my body, I would be talking to my doctor and my naturopath about that area and about just making sure that everything is in balance. The other thing that comes up for me is that in general, you are out of balance. I think that could be hormones, it could be thyroid, it could be adrenals, it could be a lot of things, but If I were you, I'd be asking for some labs to see where the imbalance is happening. I think, Arlene, you can feel a lot better than you've currently been feeling. I also feel like you've had some confusing answers from healthcare, and so that's part of the reason we're here, wondering what the heck's going on. Keep asking, keep pushing. Find a different doctor if you need to, but keep pushing here. There's going to be some answers for you that help you to feel better. I can see how this is frustrating and disheartening, and I think that there's answers there for you. So I'm going to clear out that solar plexus band here quickly. I'm going to invoke Merkaba energy. So, commanding billions of many points of light to flood your solar plexus area now, completely healing, clearing, and releasing any and all stuck energy here. Anything that could be based in anger, fear, resentment, or any other lower vibrating frequency that could be contributing to physical, emotional, or spiritual issues here now. Commanding these energies to heal through every cell of your physical body, every layer of your emotional body, and every fiber of your spirit body now. Oh, yeah. That's clearing out really nicely. You're such a sweetheart. I think these are energies that you just don't like having. These are emotions you don't like having, and they got put somewhere. Okay. I'm going to just fill that all up with gold here. But again, I'm going to encourage you to continue to ask more questions until you get some answers. I absolutely feel like you can feel better than you're feeling. Okay, that is done. All righty. Yeah. Let's see. All right. JR said, should I move out of my apartment? Where and how? I feel like a move would be a good thing for you. However, I don't really feel like it'll be a possibility for you for probably at least the next 6 months, maybe longer. It feels to me like this will have to be a very calculated move that takes a fair amount of planning to put into place. And so I feel like moving isn't the worst idea. I think that you would feel safer if you moved somewhere where less people from your past knew where you lived, that this would be a good thing for you. So if you're going to do it, be don't do it in a hasty way, don't do it in a rush, do it in a very, very calculated, planned out way. I feel like that's the only way for you to do it. And that if you try to do it in a hasty, rushed way, you won't get the outcome that you're looking for. And you'll jump from the frying pan into the fire. So, JR, it's a yes, but it's a very careful yes. Yeah. Okay, you guys, we have done what we do. We've definitely talked down to the end of the show. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to remind you that we're on sale today for a 1-2 day over at 12listen.com. I am a professional psychic advisor over there, so if I can help you with anything, come on over and I'll do my best for you. And of course, stay tuned. There's more great radio to come, and you'll find me back here on Thursday morning with Read Me with Katie and Kelly at 10 a.m. We're doing bibliomancy this week, so very fun. All right, thanks so much for being here. You've been listening to the Katie Weaver Show here on 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.